We are live, StraightPoliticking. I am Alex Alonso, and you can tap in with me, Alex Alonso 101, on all your favorite social media platforms, especially on Twitter, Instagram, and YouTube. And you could also find my personal page, Alex Alonso 101, on YouTube as well. And I'm here with my co-host from out of the eye, Inglewood, the city of champions. It's been probably the hottest time of the year. I'm here with Munchie B, the mayor. What's going on, man?
Not too much.
Okay. How you been dealing with this shit? It's like a heat wave all across the Southwest, man.
Yeah. It's the first time I put on a hoodie. But
At least it's white.
Yeah, no, it's been burning up all year.
Yeah, man. It's been from Vegas to L.A. from 90 to 115 degrees.
Yeah, my mom talked to some of our family in St. Louis. It was 117.
Is that normal for St. Louis?
It be baking out there, so it might be. It's summertime.
Yeah, I've been to St. Louis one time as a little kid, man. I remember the Golden Gates. I mean, not the Golden Gate.
The Arc.
The Arc. What do they call it? The Gateway to the West.
Yeah, the Arc. Yep. Yeah. I've been to St. Louis about 2 or 3 times.
Yeah, I haven't been there since I was about 10 or 11. But yeah, but this last night though, I checked the temperature. I think it was 70 degrees. I was like, oh, this feels pretty good.
I got invited past Saturday to go to Six Flags. I checked the weather in Santa Clarita. It was between 103 and 105. I said, no, I'm cool.
Yeah, man. It gets like that up there in Santa Clarita.
Mm-hmm.
It gets up there. But Santa Clarita's nice, though. It's definitely a nice little area if you want to get away from all the BS in L.A. But then if you want to just dip into L.A., you're only 40 minutes out. And if you're driving fast like a maniac, you probably do it in 30.
Right.
You drive like me, it's going to take you 40 minutes for sure. But, hey, I was in court about a week ago, man. I hadn't really spoke about it. It wasn't really a serious court hearing. But the no-jumper beating is still underway. It is still going through the justice system. And the only defendant that they have in custody had his arraignment. Of course, we all know he pled not guilty. And I am talking about Alfred Walker, who was an IBM affiliate.
Mm-hmm.
And he rocked with Wack100. And my guess is that at the end of the day, he's sitting there saying to himself, why did I mess with this dude, Wack100? If he's smart.
Yeah, if he's smart and not brainwashed. But, I mean, I think a lot of them dudes not really feeling Wack100 since Loose Cannon not, you know what I mean? They kind of follow his lead.
Yeah, well, they fell out, Fake Cannon, Termaine Williams, and Wack100 at the end, but I'm shocked to hear him on the phone with Cash Jones, I guess a few months after his arrest, like everything was cool.
It was a fake call on the internet. I know it wasn't real with Loose Cannon lawyer and
oh yeah,
Wack, that wasn't real.
I heard that one.
Yeah, it wasn't real.
I heard that one. But I found out that there are the city of Burbank are prosecuting 4 people in the no-jumper beating. Alex Alonso here, StreetTV, and I was in court this morning for the no-jumper beating case. And one defendant was present. That would be Alfred Walker. He is a IBM affiliate, or probably former IBM. I'm not even sure what's the status of that whole IBM thing, because you don't really hear much about it. But he was in court today. Today was actually his arraignment date. His attorney entered a not guilty plea while he was right next to her. It's a different prosecutor on the case right now. His name is Steve Lopez. And there are 4 defendants on this case. Only one was present in court. Of course, we have Termaine Williams, who's in federal custody. So the feds haven't released him to at least come to court on this case. And then there's warrants out for the other 2 defendants. That would be Robert Gizzy Marshall and Donnell Gloss. All four of these guys actually were IBM guys. I believe Gizzy said he's no longer IBM. There's a video of him saying he's not with that anymore. Donnell Gloss was still representing IBM. And I'm not sure if Alfred Walker has denounced his IBM affiliation. And we know Termaine Williams is still probably trying to push that IBM stuff because he throws the IBM logo on, at least he was throwing the IBM logo on the content that his ex-girlfriend was posting on the internet. So there is another court date scheduled in September, and his defense attorney, Alfred Walker's defense attorney, is going to file a motion to just allow her to show up in court during these hearings until the preliminary hearing. We'll find out if that motion is granted. But Mr. Walker is currently out of custody. He's not out on bail. He is actually out on an OR with electronic monitoring. And I heard in court this morning that one of the conditions of his OR is not to be around the No Jumper premises, the studio out there in Burbank. So that's an update on the No Jumper beating. Thanks for tapping in.
And okay, I know one is out on OR.
One is out on OR. That's the only one that's really been formally arrested and charged in this is Alfred Walker. And the other two IBM dudes, Donnell Gloss, he is definitely charged in the No Jumper beating. Although we've been hearing that, people say that, I actually had the conversation. And I was told, yep, he's charged as a warrant for his arrest.
Shut up, man. Shut up. Go sleep. Go sleep, man. Go sleep. Right now. Bitch ass. Pack it up. Grip. Hey, y'all pat his pockets? Everything, nigga. Right now.
And another dude, this dude should be of interest to you, Munchie B, because this guy teamed up with Wack100 and put out one of the first large lies about you. We're talking about
IBM Gizzy.
Robert Gizzy Marshall from Vegas.
Okay. Yeah, okay.
And he was definitely tapped in with Wack100. In fact, I believe he was the one that encouraged Wack. I could help you. I could help you go against Munchie. And what's sad to hear is that he's a blood. He's a Damu from Vegas. And he got to know that Wack ain't really no Damu and that Munchie B really is.
Right.
And even though y'all don't know each other personally, at least historically in the 80s and 90s, you never really did something dirty against another Damu unless it was personal. He don't even know you.
Right.
Couldn't even be personal.
Right.
So why would he do that?
I don't know, man. I be thinking they waiting on a crumb to fall off a table, you know what I mean? But he ain't gonna help nobody.
Well, most of the people listening probably don't even know what that lying ass play it was that they concocted. Can you give us a little brief synopsis of that play?
He had a recorded phone call with a fake Englewood family, you know what I mean, speaking on me. And I could tell by the voice because the voice wasn't familiar and then he didn't really sound authentic in the way we speak, you know what I mean? I'm like, who is this dude? Nobody from my community knew who Wack was quote unquote on the phone with and saying why I got shot and who I am and who I'm not and all that. And, you know, they just did a whole Medea play basically.
Also, a big part of that Medea play, Munchie, was that your mom went to the park and was screaming and crying and asking for all this help and assistance.
My mom went to Darby Park with a police escort and the church people begging the Bloods to spare my life. That was a part of the conversation, yeah.
Well, he is also charged in the No Jumper beating.
Hey, right here, nigga. Watch out, cunt. Everything, nigga, right now.
And at some point, they will be in the Los Angeles County Jail. Now, how you think Gloss and Robert Gizzy Marshall is going to do in the Los Angeles County Jail?
I don't know. I don't know, but Gizzy, yeah, I don't know, man.
Now, Gizzy's been to the penitentiary before.
He ain't been to the LA County Jail though.
He's never been to a penitentiary in California, though.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. That's a different demon out here though.
Yeah, it definitely is. He served several years in the Nevada Department of Corrections, and I'm sure he spent many months in the Clark County Jail. Has never touched the Los Angeles County Jail or the CDC. But I was thinking that once they hit that county jail, there's gonna be a lot of questions they're gonna have to answer.
Right. If they put two or two, like, oh, you the dude that messed with the cash on dude. But I don't think at this point they won't even be associated with them, so they go keep that under their, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah, but everybody's tapped in with the internet, even the people in the county jail. And they're going to be like, man, I was just watching StreetTV, man.
Right.
Gizzy, you a lie.
Right.
We know everything that you was involved with. You know, you can't get over on nobody now with the internet.
Yeah, they getting the news fresh off the press when they sit in their cell. It's crazy.
I would recommend to Gizzy and Gloss probably just go straight to PC. Just go straight to PC. You know, because playing the Wack card, is that gonna help you in there?
No.
Okay, that's
Not at all. Wack couldn't help himself if he got locked up.
now also during this arraignment. This was interesting. Mr. Alfred Walker is going to file a motion. He probably has already done so, to request that his appearance not be mandatory until the actual prelim or the actual trial, because all it is just hearings. Every month or every 6 weeks it's a hearing, and he's requesting from the court that he not be there, that his lawyer just be there on his behalf.
He must be driving a distance or something.
Well, his excuse was work. He's got work. So I don't know how often they grant that. I'm not really tapped in with that type of motion, you know. But I have heard lawyers come to court and say, hey, I'm here on behalf of Alex Alonso, blah, blah, this, blah, blah, that. And the hearing is about 10 minutes long, and that's what it is. And it's completely normal, but I haven't really seen it in a violent, quote unquote, I guess you could say, I'm gonna call IBM a gang, in a violent, quote unquote, gang case where the defendant gets to not show up for the hearings.
It ain't because it's a gang case. It's like it's a large it's a what you want to call it? Everybody know about it. It's real. What's the word?
It's a high profile.
High profile. Yeah, it's high profile because it happened where it happened at. You know what I'm saying? So I doubt they'll let him. Let the lawyer just stand in. I doubt that.
Even though it does happen, though, it does happen. I've seen it I've seen it in a DUI case.
And DUI, that's a wino case. That ain't nothing.
Yeah, but only for like some hearings. But once it gets down to the nitty gritty, you know, we're about to do a prelim, or it's going to, you know, once it gets to it, you got to be there.
They ain't gonna let them do that. They ain't gonna grant it. It's because they still got people that's outstanding that they ain't got in custody, and you know what I mean. It's a lot to it, so they ain't gonna allow it.
Well, we'll find out at the next court hearing. I think his argument is going to be that he's working and he's taking care of his family, and that every time he has to miss a work day, that's a financial impact on him and his kids. And I think he has a new kid with this woman he's with. So I think he has a pretty strong argument to say, because you got to have a reason. You just can't say, hey, Your Honor, I don't want to show up here until it's really important. So I'm going to have my lawyer show up. No, you got to have a compelling argument, and I think he got a strong one.
Yeah, we gonna see.
I'm sure he's got to produce the check stubs and all that stuff, but if he does,
I'm pretty sure he gonna come with his proof, but I still don't think they gonna grant it, though.
All right, we'll find out, man. But I've been on top of the no jumper beating. It's in Pasadena court, and it looks like it's going to go to trial soon. Well, prelim first, of course.
Yeah, prelim, then,
But,
go through the process.
Unless they're offering deals. We remember before when I went, the previous prosecutor, she's not on the case now. They switched prosecutors. She said that there were no deals or no offers at this time. And now we got this new prosecutor, which I don't think he's going to stay on the case long. So I don't even think they have picked their the long-term prosecutor for this case hasn't even been selected yet.
When they get bound over to superior after preliminary, then they go settle in on one.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Or the person who does the prelim might end up being the actual one to go through with it.
Right.
So I wanted to give an update on that. And lastly, on the no jumper beating, nowhere is Cash Jones considered a suspect anymore, even though originally Burbank put him down there as a suspect.
Are we surprised?
Oh, man.
You talking about a man that's always close to the fire and never get burnt. so is we really surprised? Like,
I think that at some point your luck runs out. Your luck does run out. Like we've had some of the greatest, the most prolific informants meet their day, like Whitey Bulger. You know,
right.
There's been a handful of informants that have met their day. They thought that they were so untouchable that eventually the same people you was working for, they came for you.
Thought they cooperating skills will keep them free forever, huh?
Yeah.
Right.
It got so bad for Whitey Bulger that the FBI that was his handler got indicted.
Why? He was letting them get away with too much?
He was letting them get away with too much.
I got to do more homework on him.
He did 20 years. His name was Connolly. He did 20 years, and he got out. I think he was in his 70s when he got out. The problem was they tracked him down. They tracked his history down to knowing Whitey Bulger as a kid. He knew Whitey Bulger as a kid.
His handler?
His handler.
Whoa.
Yeah. And they were both Irish, you know. Connolly is an Irish name. And I guess they kept their eye on Mr. Connolly, the FBI agent, and he was giving him too much information. But he did help Connolly indict a whole bunch of Italian mafia dudes in Boston. So, you know, you give a little, you get a little. They just said that the FBI handler gave a little too much.
And he got indicted.
He got indicted. He did 20 years in a federal prison.
So maybe Cash Jones handler will get indicted when he get indicted, if it ever happens.
Yeah, I just think that I haven't really spoke on Cash Jones being an informant. I haven't really spoke on it. I talk about him being just a pathological liar. You just can't believe 90% of the stuff that comes out of his mouth.
Yeah, when the CS2 back stuff come up, like I get quiet because when people don't they're not really savvy with the law, they're not gonna really understand his name not being there and back being there. And I dealt with situations like that where there's somebody in my community, his confidential name was Jet. So instead of Joseph Harrison, it said Jet. You know what I mean? So, I don't even bother going into it, man.
Yeah, I got a lot of backlash. Well, I wouldn't say I got a lot of backlash, but there was quite a bit of backlash when I did the FG interview. FG from Cross Atlantic Pyru, who told the entire story about Mob James McDonald, informing on him on a drug case for 4 ounces of cocaine that landed him 10 years in prison. There were some people who were just hardcore Mob James fans that says, I'm a liar, FG's a liar. Even Norm Steele, the guy that was producing the Gangsta Chronicles podcast, was calling me a liar because he was trying to protect his brand because Mob James was still on the Gangsta Chronicles and I no longer was. But about a year and a half later, you will not believe who Norm Steele had as a guest on the Gangsta Chronicles.
Oh, man, guess who I talked to the other day? You ain't gonna believe this, dog. I talked to FG the other day.
Oh, okay.
Talked to FG for about probably like 30, 40 minutes, man. Cool brother, man.
Oh, definitely.
He told me, he said, "Hey, this is my homie."
Oh yeah, me and FG is official. Somebody I've known for a while, and not just on no rap shit. You get me?
FG's in that football too. He's in the football.
FG's son is in the football shit. Nigga, FG and the homie took me on my first dirt bike riding trip.
Yeah,
so shout out my FG.
You know what? Getting to talk to cats like that, man, and just realizing, man, it's a cool dude. He just out there living his life, dog. He got the same aspirations that the next man got. He just want to kick it. He said he lost a lot of time in prison, man, and he making up for that time now. You know what I'm saying? He said he working, man, taking care of his family, dog. For sure. That nigga FG told me to call. I'm going to tap in with him real quick.
Hey.
FG, what's happening? What's happening, baby?
Man, what's going on with y'all?
Oh, man, shoot, nothing, man. I told, hey, we up here on the show. I told him, I said, man, guess who I talked to the other day? He said, who else? FG. He said, that's the homie. You know, 8 talk.
Nah, no doubt, no doubt. Like I said, we go back, man, like Timberlake, man, you know, and till late, I still got a bunch of dirt bikes in the garage and shit, man. I don't know if he still, know how to kick them gears, man, but
He can hear
I got
you.
one for him. Yeah.
Oh, for sure, my nigga. You already know. Definitely.
Hell yeah, how you been, homie?
Man, shit, trying to survive, my nigga.
No, that's what's up. Same thing over here, man, I ain't kicking in too many doors. You know how it go.
Yes, indeed. Just trying to lay low.
Hell yeah, I was telling them, man, about that good conversation, man, me and you had the other day, man, and I was just telling them, I was like, man, FG is a cool dude, man. FG is a cool brother.
Nah, no doubt, homie. Everybody gonna have a, perception of different people till they get to really know him, because to be honest with you, I had a perception of you just based on what I saw, but like you said, we chopped it up. I mean, and it wasn't no bad perception, it just, I didn't know you, you know what I mean? So when we chopped it up, I said the same thing, like, man, this dude way cool, man, and you know what I mean, and that's what's happening.
Well, that's what I'm saying. That's why I wanted to reach out, man, especially, we ain't even go into the other bull, dog. But it was like, with that whole little situation, the way it was, didn't nobody know what was going on. You feel what I'm saying?
Well, everybody was skeptical, homie, you know what I mean? And people be, they don't want to believe everything they hear, but at the same time, sometime in this world and day and age, especially the information age, information come out, man, and, shit just go like it go. It ain't gonna always be pretty, you know what I mean?
That shit blew my mind.
FG.
He had FG over the phone. He had FG on there.
So,
Being all cool with him and believing him, obviously, and
all of a sudden, huh?
yeah. And of course, at this point, Mob James was off the podcast. They had already kicked him off the podcast.
Did that have anything to do with it? Because it kind of like the image of the like the brand. You know what I'm saying? Kind of diminish it.
Yeah, I mean, I wasn't there when these decisions were made, but I did hear Norm Steele say somewhere, I saved the clip somewhere, that he was getting a lot of backlash about the Mob James snitch stuff. But he kept him for another year or so, So I don't really know the specifics of it, but definitely that played a role. And he was all chummy and friendly when FG was called in and was on there. So basically, I was vindicated.
Right.
Despite all the haters. There was a hater out in Detroit talking about FG's a liar. That dude disappeared. So yeah, that's a good situation. I mean, it's a good comparison to the CS2 back stuff because Cash Jones' name is not in there.
Right.
And
when it comes to confidential sources, that's how it go. They're gonna have a name in place of the real name. You know what I mean? But
But it's worse enough the amount of lying and the amount of just embellishing and just smutting people and smearing their names and just that alone should have him off the Adam and Wack show. That alone should cause Vlad to say, I don't. It's not worth the clicks. It's not worth the views.
have you been on Vlad lately?
They just dropped a new one.
Okay.
Yeah. So, but obviously the lies, and it's a bad example to put out there because in 2026, majority of the people know that Wack's lying. Maybe in 2020 they didn't. Majority of the people will believe in Wack in 2020. In 2026, everybody knows he's a liar.
Honestly, it don't even sound like Adam believe him. I think it's more entertaining. He let him ramble off his hyped up story and just do a view, but it don't appear that he even believe him.
I agree, and so that just lets us know that the lies are a part of the show. The lies are a part of the interview, and they're a part of the entertainment package, according to Vlad and according to No Jumper. They've embraced the lies.
Yeah.
And that tells us a little something about the people who run those platforms. If you have a constant guest, I remember Oprah had a guest on the show who wrote a book. I think the book was called A Million Pieces. It was about overcoming drug addiction. It was a great story of hitting rock bottom and making it to the top. The whole book was a lie.
So first of all, I wanted to start with the smoking gun report, titled The Man Who Conned Oprah. And I want to know where they right.
I think most of what they wrote was pretty accurate, absolutely.
I think this made the list because it was such an unforgettable moment of television. This was like a train wreck you couldn't take your eyes away from. You just couldn't stop watching it.
But the book was presented as nonfiction when he wrote the book. He had Oprah on the show. I mean, Oprah had him on the show. It helped him sell millions of more books. And then Oprah was like, hell nah.
I did that show, and I was pretty defensive. I was defending my turf and defending every single viewer who had bought that book. I am standing here on behalf of the reader who's pissed off that it wasn't what we thought it was.
She got duped. So eventually she had the guy back on there to grill his ass.
That's right, Oprah.
Why would you do this?
That's right, Oprah.
How did, and it was about maybe 15 years ago. But it was a good example of how Oprah was not taking the BS lies, no matter how many ratings she got from it.
Our readers really remembered this as a significant moment because I don't think they'd ever seen Oprah so angry. She really felt betrayed and she let it show.
What I realized when I looked at the show again is that what everyone said to me at the time, and I could not hear it, that I was so hard on him. And I was like, but.
She wasn't accepting it.
Okay, I'm gonna put some respect on Oprah Winfrey's name. I done said negative things in the past. Okay.
Yeah, she hasn't been friendly to hip hop, unfortunately. That's where a lot of negativity.
I don't like how she treat, hip hop artists.
But there's quite a few journalists that are gonna check a liar.
He deserved that because he had not been, forthright about what he had written.
But in this YouTube space, too many don't. Especially on these huge platforms, they're not gonna do it. I mean, Oprah could have just said, I'm gonna ignore this dude, but she felt played also. Because when she had the Oprah Book Club, if Oprah talked about your book, you became a millionaire. If she talked about your book, it sold hundreds of thousands of copies. And this guy somehow got her to talk about his book. And it was all a lie.
Somebody put them in contact. So I know she mad at whoever put that together.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. And I'm thinking to myself, damn, this dude, I don't know the specifics of how he hustled the system, but to get on Oprah, that's like the cream of the crop. That's like you at the top of the mountain to have Oprah talk about your book. So, and we got to say that the No Jumpers and the VladTVs are pretty much the top podcasts, the top platforms, the top channels right now.
Well, I got to give Vlad a little bit more leeway than Adam, because I've checked out Vlad interviews to where he had referred to some notes and challenge and give pushback. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So I got to give Vlad more. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. Well, I'm not giving them any credit for platforming for this guy or any other person that wants to continue in his footsteps, because the example that Wack is putting out there that seems to be very effective for him is that, hey man, if you got a good lie and you stay consistent with it, it'll take you to the top.
Yeah, he said that the man that shot me, you know what I'm saying, he trying to come up to No Jumper. I just won't let him. What? Bro, come on, bro. I guess.
And unfortunately, all of his shenanigans on the internet are partially involved in this big U indictment. There's no way you could ignore what he has done on the internet and the case that Big U is facing. Now, I'm sure some of the Big U stuff is his own doing. I've read a lot of the different charges and the different overt acts, but it's a lot of Wack100 overlay in his indictments, man. It's a whole lot.
Okay, all right, back to when he already knew when there was a close in on Big U and apprehend him. He said that he reached out to Big U's wife and said, not verbatim, but they come and he texted, they come and get out the way or get it.
Do they got Big U in custody right now? Why the f*** you think that is? Take a guess.
Let me see how smart
Wack,
you
I don't
are.
even want to guess.
Why you think he knew where not to be?
I don't even want to take a guess.
You niggas is slow. You one-track minded. Listen, I wish a nigga would play something to tell me, hey, they owe you, nigga. He really was helping the nigga. What the police said, we've been investigating since 2021.
Okay.
This shit come to us March 3rd. Whatever the fuck they was gonna do is done. Why you think Big U wasn't sleeping in his house at 4:30 this morning? Take a guess, nigga.
Hey,
so which one you want? Oh, shit, honey, you knew about this shit, didn't say nothing? Oh, nigga, you putting the clips on it, what the family saying. Warning, warning, warning. Which one you want? You niggas is confusing. Do we ride with the police and do what the family say? I'm going to send you the clip right now, Remo. Play it for the world. Does he ride with the police and do what the family say and say, don't tell nobody, just let them go get him? You know what we did? Put him to sleep. We ain't going to say nothing. What did we do, Remo? Woke him up, right?
Yeah.
I show you text messages, the family cussing our ass out, calling us every name of the book. You snake motherfuckers, y'all play my mama. Whoopty, 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 whoop. So which one you want, Cliff World? You want a nigga to do what the police say do and keep him asleep or wake him up? Remo, here you go. Check your text.
All right.
Tell me the date of that nigga, and that's the Big U wife. What's the date of that, Remo?
After you got the message, you hit up Big U's wife. You said, "Sis, 911. 1 sec, let me get solo." And you gave him a heads up.
What I tell him?
You said, "1 sec, let me get solo. He needs to leave. Bad." In caps, all caps. He needs to leave.
I said so bad, right?
Yeah, full bad.
Ain't that obstruction a little bit?
Hell yeah.
Okay.
Hell yeah.
That's what I'm saying. He keep breaking laws and getting away with it. You know what I mean? You know, whatever.
You can go to prison for assisting any person with information to flee or to elude, the authorities, and he publicly does it.
Right.
So, so they just dropped another indictment on Big U, and I got a copy of it here, and it's just looking more worse and more worse for Mr. Henley. But what's interesting in this new superseding indictment is that there is a narrative of an event that took place at the LAX airport, Munchie B, that the only place we've ever heard about this, the only time we even know about this, is when this guy, Cash Jones, went on Clubhouse in 2022 and told the story.
Who started that shit, blood? We know who started it.
Who started that?
6ix9ine and Shotty and them niggas.
Trick.
Yes, they did, bro. They're not checking in, bro. They're not checking in and making it.
No,
They're not checking in and making it a
wait.
negative
Trick
connotation.
Trick's no-fly zone was based on the collective at that table when it was on. For instance, Future owed Trick some money. So me, Trick, and Big U was real close at the time, right? Hey, Future owed bro some money. All right, Trick in Detroit. Me and Big U on a red-eye flight to Atlanta. We coming to LAX. We coming through the security shit, putting our bag through the thing. Who we see on the other side? Future and the girl that's with the football player, right? What's his baby?
Sierra.
We see Future and Sierra. I say, bro, is that who I think it is? He looked. I said, yeah. I said, you take the bitch. I got him. When we come to the thing, I say, hey, homie, you got that money for Trick? He take off running. I'm chasing the nigga on the dead homies through the Delta motherfucking shit. The nigga runs into a motherfucking terminal, and he runs into the thing, but it ain't hooked up to no plane.
He left his bitch?
He left the bitch.
No, bro.
Right?
Wow.
He runs into the terminal. True story. He runs into the terminal, right? When he run into the terminal, he take his phone out. right? He know it can only go so far because what you gonna do? Jump onto the runway? That's a long drop down there, right? He he throws the phone at me on speaker. All I hear is Stunner voice. He say, Wack, it's me, Stunner. Talk to me. I say, Stunner, I'm busy right now. He said, yeah, but I don't want you to be, nephew. What the going on? I say, oh, trick a bag, my. He can't be in our backyard and he owe bro a bag. Either he gonna pay or he finna get fucked up and then he gonna pay. Right? Trick at home sleep. He don't know what's going on. He in Detroit. Right? He say, Wack, my word to you, I pay the debt. Let him be. I got business with that man. I said, what? He said, Wack, this Stunner talking to you as your brother. Leave him be. You got my word, whatever the debt is. Send me trick shit. I pay him in the morning. On me. I'm giving you my word. I threw the back the phone and walked away. He trick got his wad in this. This real shit.
Oh,
But what I'm
he
saying,
jumped
but
on
what
that
I'm saying is
line.
like that was like it was a real table at one time to where we knew what was going on. Knew everywhere. It was it's in every region to where we knew what the was going on. Right? And we was gonna move if we saw you. And our squads knew if they saw you at a hookah lounge or a club. It been times where niggas like, hey, well, I ain't gonna say no names. Such and such at the club, lock him down. Them niggas will go over there 20 deep to their VIP. Tell the security they don't pay you enough for this here. Look, nigga, continue to have your drinks. Your bitches, y'all cool. Ain't nobody moving out the VIP till the homies get here. And we show up. Hey, what's up, homie? Yeah, that beat you was supposed to, that verse, the homie paid you for that verse. Yeah, you ain't finna be out here in the homie in Chicago and what's happening? We got a studio around the corner. Let's go. You now. This your security. They can roll
On
with
the
us.
spot.
They can roll with us.
He got to go to
And they
work.
go over right
Hey,
now.
that's
Wack,
Right
some real
Wack,
now.
nigga shit though.
Right?
Wack.
He get the shit out the way. He go his ass back to partying. We ain't tripping. But you wasn't finna just be doing all that like that. So when Trick no fly zone shit kicked, that was a unity thing. You know what I'm saying? This whole thing was, I think it was with Ross, is they wanted to
He
open up.
wasn't showing the
They
artists from
wanted to
Detroit no
open
love
up,
on the
and
show.
he wasn't showing them. He told the promoters he wasn't gonna let no Detroit artists open up. Oh, well, nigga, you ain't taking this thing. Trick was out there with 100 and locked it down. You ain't getting on the stage. You get out, we fucking you up.
Damn.
That's what that
And
was.
all of that is
That's how
based
he
on
got
just
Trick Daddy.
respecting the
He
code.
told Trick Daddy change your name. Trick Daddy start woofing, talking shit in Miami. They booked Trick Daddy on his show. He brought his dumb ass up to Detroit. It's on video on Google. They beat the shit out that nigga and ran him back. That's how his rap career was finished. Oh my mama, go Google it. You see him get his
Nah,
ass
that's
whooped,
a fact. That happened.
fucked up, all that, bro. Yeah, we was good for that booking the nigga on the show. Couple
Goon
of
Squad.
yeah, we'll book you in a minute. We just fuck.
Goon Squad beat the shit out of that boy.
Cause see this, you got to remember, we didn't lose no money. Cause when we booked you, right, we was part of the bar and the dough anyway. So we was gonna get back whatever we gave you anyway.
Nobody else has ever talked about this.
Hmm.
How does this end up in Big U's indictment, bro? No, for real.
I could take a guess. Hey, look, man. When this came out, Big U was free. He said, I don't know what he talking about. Trick from Detroit said, I don't know what you talking about. A Future affiliate, Doughboy, he debunked it because Future don't just do too much talking. But as of recently, he shared what his artist Doughboy put out years ago, basically stamping it like it's cap. So the only one giving this story any validity or even spoke on it ever is him, and now is an overt act. So, I mean, it don't take a rocket scientist to.
Well, if you go to the indictment on page 18, it states for years, the title of this paragraph is for years, members and associates of Big U Enterprise extorted victims through actual and threatened force, violence, fear, and intimidation. And then under this paragraph, it lists 3 overt acts connected to this incident at LAX. It states here, when a victim refused to pay, defendant Henley reacted violently. Overt act number 36. In and around 2014, defendant Henley approached NDC. Let me just explain to people who NDC is. For those who don't know, that's the rapper Future, and he's got a very unusual first name. It's Nevadius Demon Wilburn. The Wilburn last name is very common, but Nevadius and his middle name Demon. Never heard of those names in my life.
But you know, he changed his last name.
Oh, he did.
And that's why it's NDC. He changed it to Cash.
Oh, because it's not ND. Okay, so he's not Wilburn anymore.
He changed it to Cash.
Okay, my bad. NDC. Okay. So the ND is Nevadius Demon, and he changed his name to Cash Jones's first name?
Ain't that ironic?
Yeah. Okay, so it says here the Grammy Award-winning artist, the defendant approached the Grammy Award-winning artist in order to collect money for a Detroit associate. Now, that Detroit associate is Trick.
And Trick denied it when the story came out. Said, I don't know what you're talking about.
Hey, if you go to that FX documentary that
Hold on, and what did Wack say? Oh, yeah, it happened. They just mad at me right now. That's crazy, bro.
Yeah, there's a documentary that Big U did on FX about 2022 or 2023, and Trick and Big U were in it together. So they definitely have a relationship.
And that's where the jealousy coming at. When that was Waka Flocka Mama on there and Dab.
Yep.
Trick, Big U, you know what I mean? And
they flew down to the Dominican Republic.
And Haitian Jack.
Tapped in with Haitian Jack.
And he want to be spoken in the same light. Like he want his name to be brought up amongst them type of people. He want the respect that they got. But, you know.
Actually, it was 2021. It was 2021.
When they came out with that doc?
Yeah.
Okay.
And Bimmy, I believe, was in it because that's his
sister.
His sister.
And Deb is his big sister.
And so there's definitely a relationship between Trick and Big U, for sure. Okay, so overt act number 37, it says, in and around 2014, after Future refused to pay and ceased answering defendant Henley's phone calls, defendant Henley and his associates committed violence against NDC and NDC's associates and security for failing to show respect and pay money.
Ooh, that's a little bit more descriptive than what was said on Clubhouse.
Now, this is an actual incident that happened at a club in L.A. that your boy Cash Jones, I say that jokingly, of course.
Oh, they not saying, oh, okay, what you just read, they not saying this took place at the airport. They saying, okay, about the stumped out thing and the security thing.
Yeah, the airport is the next act. But before we get to the airport, Wack has vividly told this story.
Right.
That he got packed out.
Right.
Till a nigga like me chase him through the airport like the bitch he is.
No, that's what I was just
Huh?
say.
Oh, I got the articles. Future beat in LA club. Leave security behind. Oh, we was on him. You know it, Huster, because that was y'all work the day before us. That's why he laughing at you, Stan.
Man, but I'm telling you, Future one of them niggas, bro. I'm telling you, bro. He can make some magic happen now. I'm telling you like this, bro.
Stan, we terrorized him out here.
Man, for real, that probably
West
outside
Coast?
of,
He was terrorized?
You know how
terrorized the shit out of him.
Okay, and overt act number 38 is in and around 2014, a few days after defendant Henley and his associates stomped out Future. Defendant Henley and a co-conspirator chased NDC through the Los Angeles International Airport in an attempt to further intimidate and collect money from Future. That co-conspirator is Cash Jones, Wack100. He is a co-conspirator, bro.
So it say Cash Jones right there.
No, it doesn't say Cash Jones.
But we know because he told the story.
Yeah,
All right, I'll follow you.
So it just says co-conspirator.
Okay.
And then it says defendant Henley. Okay, that's the end of those three overt acts.
Mm-hmm.
So, That's crazy because this is the first time, even though it doesn't say Cash Jones.
I thought I heard 2. That was 3?
Yeah, I read all 3 of them.
Okay.
36, 37, 38.
Okay.
This is the first time where we are able to identify Cash Jones in a federal document as being part of a crime.
No, it ain't. Second. Oh, federal.
Federal.
Federal. Okay.
I know you're gonna say the Burbank one.
Right.
And in less than 18 months, he's identified in 2 crimes. In documents. And the first one you're talking about, his name is spelled out.
Right. Suspect number 4.
Hey, this is just bananas, bro. I don't understand how this guy keeps getting away with it. But one of the things he did is try to downplay this superseding indictment, saying that the 7 charges he's facing have nothing to do with this overt act. So let me play a clip of him trying to downplay this situation.
Bug said, Adam, pull up the clip of Wack speaking on it. Big U is being charged with extortion on Future because Wack said that he owed Trick money. So if Wack don't get charged, we know why.
Big U doesn't have a charge, you dummy. Show me the charge of Big U with extortion Future. First of all, you need Future. Second of all, Future never paid Trick.
But they're using your words to like make these statements, right?
Didn't say all my words.
Yeah.
Future tossed his phone.
Right.
It was somebody on the phone who said, Wack, I know about the debt, I'ma cover it. Bro gonna get paid. It was a real debt. This ain't, see, extortion is when you go and making a motherfucker pay you.
Right.
If a motherfucker got a real debt with you, owe you some real money, I just got off the phone with a motherfucker owe me $10,000. Where my money at? Every time I see you, every chance I get, I'm at you by my, this is real money. I can show giving you this money. Motherfucker, that ain't extortion. So at the end of the day, Future's never gonna say that.
Right. He's too player.
No, he know he owed the dude.
Oh, okay.
And then he didn't even pay the debt. Future didn't pay the debt. I know who paid the debt.
Yeah.
Because I know who was on the phone. I know who sent the wire. Right? So this is not extortion. It's not, they put it in there, it was a matter of respect. Again, I don't know if they have some other shit going on, but I know Big U and his homies, nobody touch Future. Now we had this little dumb dude, Doughboy, whoever the fuck he is, talking about what he know, what couldn't have happened. Did you know about a fucking Doughboy in 2014?
Doughboy, oh, that Doughboy, not our Doughboy.
Did you know about, yeah, like nigga, you wasn't even nowhere fucking around, bro. And this is not the Future of today.
Right.
So when you think about why would Future, this runs in the future of the day.
Right. This is regular.
Yeah, future of the day, you probably ain't gonna catch it no regular airport.
Right.
You private. But again, it was just a conversation. He never got touched. Was his debt paid? It absolutely got paid.
Right.
Was this you gotta pay because you in LA? Absolutely not.
In short, though, why are these new charges getting added? Is this just the product of them like speaking to more informants and shit?
Well, see, y'all gotta understand, you got charges and you got overt acts. Overt acts is just like they talking about your character. They're trying to establish you're capable of this shit.
Right.
They were trying to do. But the funny part about it is, I made it clear that Big U stayed back. So what you talking about? He stayed back. Now we.
There you go. So you can get a sense he's just trying to say, oh, they just overt acts.
Well, I'm going to say this. When he told the story, he did say Big U stayed back and he quote unquote chased. But then he went from chase to, he wasn't running, he was trotting.
Yeah.
Right? And then I guess, I'm just, all right, if you pressing somebody for some money, whether it come directly from him, it get to where it's supposed to go, you still extorting the person, right?
100%.
Okay, and then I lost my thought on the third one, but this dude crazy.
But on your first point, if Big U stayed back, that means Cash Jones was doing all the intimidating. So he was the primary suspect in that incident.
And he put it out there, and it's a fabrication. He just put it out there. He didn't send a wire. I know sent the wire, and then you said Birdman name already. You know what I'm saying? So now it sounds like Birdman and got at you and said, keep my name up out of that, because all of a sudden you saying, I know who sent it. You're not trying to say it. You already said it 5 times on the internet, though.
Yeah, it's too late. He's trying to protect his name now.
Right.
In this interview, but you've already said it.
5 times.
Yeah. And I'm going to play the clip right now of him saying it was Birdman.
He throws the phone at me on speaker. All I hear is Stunner voice. He say, Wack, it's me, Stunner. Talk to me. I say, Stunner, I'm busy right now. He said, yeah, but I don't want you to be, nephew. What the fuck going on? I say, oh, trick a bag, my. He can't be in our backyard and he owe bro a bag. Either he gonna pay or he finna get fucked up and then he gonna pay. Right? Trick at home sleep. He don't know what's going on. He in Detroit. Right? He say, Wack, my word to you, I pay the debt. Let him be. I got business with that man. I said, what? He said, Wack, this Stunner talking to you as your brother. Leave him be. You got my word, whatever the debt is. Send me trick shit. I pay him in the morning. On me. I'm giving you my word. I threw the back the phone and walked away.
So there you go.
Right. And he name dropped everybody.
So that, hey, is that an indication that he's scared of Birdman?
Yeah.
He's slightly intimidated by Birdman?
I believe so.
Because
you know, them New Orleans cats kind of different.
And New Orleans will send somebody over here.
Yeah. You know, and Birdman got reach, man. So not saying that Birdman want to hurt anybody.
For sure.
Not saying that, but you know, I believe he put some respect on his name.
There might be some Birdman fanatics right here in our town that's already trying to mount up without even Birdman saying a word. But a second thing I wanted to say, and that is, he always tries to say this: you weren't around, you weren't around Munchie B. You was only 10 years old in 2010. You know,
right?
Like, you can't talk about something. Hey, I talk about things that happened before I was even born.
You know why? Because it's called history.
Yeah, it's history.
You can always go back in time and go over history. You know what I mean? So you know.
No, that's his reverse psychology tactic that I hope people ain't falling for. Because I wasn't around in 20 whatever. I can't speak on it.
He need to change up his scripts.
No, it is.
He's real predictable and like, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like, yeah.
But I want to say I believe overt acts are more serious than what he's suggesting that they are. So what I want to do is I wanted to call up an attorney that I know very well named Gabriel Chavez, who has defended dozens and dozens of high-profile cases here in Los Angeles, and he's got direct experience with the feds as well, and get a sense of what is actually an overt act.
Okay.
So let's get him on the phone right now. Is this attorney Gabriel Chavez on the phone?
This is attorney Gabriel Chavez. However, I must inform you that my license is currently suspended. So,
but that's only a temporary thing. That's only a temporary.
It is. It is. But I can't give legal advice.
No. We don't want to ask for any legal advice. We just want to get your opinion on this. A high-profile Crip from Los Angeles was indicted last year, and then they just hit him with another indictment. And in most of these indictments, they just list a variety of things called overt acts. And
Correct.
I just wanted my audience to get a better understanding of what is an overt act. And I figured you'd be one of the perfect persons to explain what an overt act actually is.
Sure. So basically an overt act is any action that could be legal or illegal taken to further a crime, or what they usually say as in furtherance of a crime. So it's just more than thinking. It's more than planning. It has to be an observable act. And the ultimate goal is to complete the crime, although it doesn't have to be completed.
Okay. Now, in this particular indictment, I was looking over, let's say, overt acts 36, 37, and 38. It's about a conspiracy to extort a famous rapper named Future. But when you look at the actual charges that Mr. Henley, Big U, is facing, that's not a charge, you know? So how do these things work together? The separate charges and then these overt acts?
Okay, so you have what's called the RICO conspiracy charge, which is basically an agreement amongst members of an enterprise. I believe in this particular case, the enterprise consists of several of Mr. Henley's associates, friends, and maybe some gang members. I'm not certain on that, but basically you have a enterprise, group of individuals is what it is, with a common goal. Typically, that goal could be to enrich one another, meaning profit financially. And that could be to elevate the members' status within a certain group, a certain organization, a certain culture, if we want to talk about maybe gang members. And so you have that enterprise that agrees to conspire in order to achieve a goal or certain goals. And let me give you another example. As you're aware, LA County Jail gets a lot of attention from the feds. And, one of the things they love to do is charge alleged prison gang members with RICO conspiracy. And, along with that individual, several other individuals get indicted with him because the government alleges they all have a goal, and that goal is to enrich individuals financially, enrich their status, and they do that by intimidating victims or profiting from the sales of drugs or contraband, etc. So in this particular matter, it appears that the government is alleging that Mr. Henley has engaged in a pattern of activities. They're called racketeering activities. That can include anything from murder to kidnapping, extortion, and some other behaviors in order to enrich the enterprise.
Okay. Now I'm here with my co-host Munchie B, and he might have a couple questions. But I wanted to ask you this rapper Future, who's only identified by his initials, which gives it away who he is. Like, two questions: why did the feds just put this guy's initials when it's easy to identify who he is? And second, does this mean Future spoke to the government, or they just got this story? They can get this story from another source.
I want to first address that. Yeah. So the individual that is, they only name his initials. Whenever you see initials, the government is alleging that those individuals are victims and they're trying to protect them, even when they're deceased. I cannot give you a certain answer as to why they want to essentially protect that individual if they're in fact deceased. But it is a practice of the U.S. Attorney's Office to do that. And if they are in fact not deceased, that does not mean by any means that they have cooperated with the government. They're just a victim, but what if someone believes that they have cooperated and they say, hey, you know what, we got to take care of this guy. Let's go find him right now. Now, I agree with you 100%. Anybody can find out Future's name, and looking at some of these overt acts, it's not hard to put it together. And but the government, for some reason, likes to conceal the identity of victims, and they usually do that with initials.
Okay, now this is an interesting question I'm going to ask you, because it really has to do with the internet and social media. In Overt Act 38, it says the defendant Henley and his co-conspirator chased Future through the airport. Now, what's crazy about this case is that the co-conspirator has told this story on the internet back in 2022. So is it possible that the government is extracting this overt act specifically from a guy telling the story on the internet?
Absolutely, and I think an example of someone in a similar situation is Keefe D out in Vegas, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, I think not only do they have what is called an admission by this particular individual, but I would think that the government would be intelligent enough to attempt to obtain some corroborating evidence that could include footage from, Los Angeles International Airport. I imagine they have quite this video surveillance system, and it's maintained. The footage is maintained for quite some time, so I believe that might be of assistance. Hell, they might even have this particular individual's cell site location at Los Angeles International Airport on this particular date or dates. They might have the victim who is cooperating. They might have a co-defendant who was there, who is cooperating, or they might have a statement from a co-defendant, because unfortunately, when it comes to RICO conspiracies, the hearsay rule goes out the window. Basically, if a co-defendant says something about you, you don't even, I mean, it's probably going to come in. So it doesn't even have to be true. And I think that's really unfortunate, because it comes in, and the only one who can really refute it is the individual who the allegation is made against. And as we know, it's not the smartest thing in the world to take the stand for a number of reasons. But yeah, man, these allegations are incredibly serious and incredibly difficult to overcome, because the government has such an arsenal of weapons to use in terms of evidence.
Now, the co-conspirator in overt act number 38, he's still on the internet running his mouth like nothing has ever happened. And he seems to be the one that was the aggressor in this particular act in 2014. Would you expect in the future he gets arrested?
Unfortunately, it's possible and maybe not possible. Or maybe the government has no interest in this individual. The government puts targets on certain people, and they tend to go after those individuals, whereas someone else who may have committed the same crime, may have participated, gets a pass. Those are questions that I can't answer.
But you've seen that happen before.
Absolutely, absolutely. There's people who have been active participants, people who have committed violence. And for reasons unbeknownst to me, unbeknownst to my colleagues, those people are never charged. We don't know. It could be because perhaps they are cooperating. But at the same time, like I've said, there's been instances where someone is not cooperating. And we don't know. In the future, this person may be charged. They may be charged in a separate RICO conspiracy. They could be hit with state charges. There's a number of reasons. Unfortunately, those are questions for the U.S. Attorney's Office.
All right, Munchie B, you got any questions for Attorney Gabriel Chavez?
No, I'm good. That was really informative right there. That was cool.
All right, Mr. Gabriel Chavez, I appreciate you answering these questions about this Big U indictment, specifically the overt acts. And I guess we should tap in with you again in the near future.
Well, thank you for having me. It's always a pleasure talking to you. Munch was nice meeting you, although it's through the phone.
Yeah, likewise.
Hopefully one day we all get together and we can discuss some more interesting topics.
All right, thanks for tapping in.
Thanks
Appreciate
a lot.
it.
Thank you. Take care.
All right.
Thank you. Bye-bye.
Hey, I asked him, can the co-conspirator also get arrested or charged? Sometimes maybe, sometimes no. Even if they committed violence, yeah, sometimes the government don't care about this person because they're after Big U.
Right.
Maybe later, maybe not later.
Yeah, man, that's crazy. That was real informative, though.
But yeah, I mean, that's basically what Whitey Bulger was doing. They were seeing he was doing a little bit of violence on the side, but he was providing information on his competition and these other organizations that he was trying to get rid of. And at that time, it was beneficial to the government. That's why I say this guy, he's gonna meet the end of the road at some point, if it's true. But yeah, I believe a co-conspirator should be charged. But if he doesn't, if he's not the target of the investigation, maybe he won't be charged.
Man, he told this story so many times. And the worst version of it is he talked to Birdman. He told Birdman he owed Trick some money and he can't be in our backyard. He either go beat his ASS or he go pay and then we beat his ASS.
He say, Wack, it's me, Stunner. Talk to me. I say, Stunner, I'm busy right now. He said, yeah, but I don't want you to be, nephew. What the going on? I say, oh, Trick a bag, my. He can't be in our backyard and he owe bro a bag. Either he gonna pay or he finna get fucked up and then he gonna pay.
And I don't know, man. Seemed like you used intimidation to for monetary gain.
Yeah, and unfortunately, that documentary that they did in 2021, they did kind of touch on this topic of checking in, and I think Trick had a thing called a no-fly zone in Detroit, meaning no, don't come over here unless, you know, you go through the right channels.
Right.
And that's pretty much part of the government's case. It's extortion all over the first indictment and this second indictment, and it's not looking good. You heard Attorney Chavez say that the federal government has at their disposal a variety of weapons in their arsenal.
Unlimited resources.
And you heard him say they'll get around the hearsay rule.
Yeah, that's messed up.
Yeah,
the state, you got a double hearsay rule and hearsay not admissible and superior, but the feds, they.
Now, I was just curious, like, how did this end up in the indictment? Did Future share this information with the feds? Did Wack actually physically share it with the feds, like verbally? Or did the feds just snatch this off the internet, insert it in there, and then, if you heard the attorney say, they like to corroborate it with some other piece of evidence if it's off the internet. Did they go to the airport and get security footage? Do you have any opinion on how this ended up in this damn indictment?
It's a couple of ways. They could have ran it back, and he said right there, well, Adam, I know who sent the wire, so they could see if it was some money sent from said person that's supposed to send it to Trick. And like he said, ran the cameras back, flight information. You know what I'm saying? Did they fly out that back in 2014, the same day as Sierra and Future? Like, you know what I mean? So it's a lot of ways to corroborate it without Future even cooperating.
Yeah, there's a good chance Future has absolutely nothing with this being in this indictment.
I don't think he do.
Yeah, I was leaning that way myself.
Mm-hmm.
Because he doesn't even want the mess. He don't want, this was 12 years ago. Why would he want to now volunteer all this information?
He didn't bring it up in the first place.
Never even brought it up. Never brought it up. Never went to the police that we know of. Never reported it that we know of. And now all of a sudden, it only took. I looked at when Wack100 first said this. I went to the actual original file. It was 2022 when he told this story. So here we are in 2026, 4 years after he said it, 1 year after Big U's original indictment, or a little more than a year and a couple months. I think it was March or April when Big U was indicted last year. So it didn't take long before him running his mouth in 2022 is in the federal government's hands.
Yeah, that might have been the first time he told the story, but it wasn't the last. So he didn't said it from that time, that first time on to the present time, like repeating the story for whatever reason.
Yeah, man.
You know what I mean?
Hey, I would if I'm a friend of Wack100, I would be nervous. All his people need to be concerned, or anyone who used to be a friend of his and that was real close, like Big U.
Shouldn't have been dealing with him.
Yeah. Because if you were in his circle, you might end up getting charged and indicted, like these guys down in San Diego ended up getting charged. A whole bunch of dudes in San Diego, allegedly all from the same gang, the West Coast Crips.
I doubt they all from the same gang, but you know.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They probably not. But this just came out the other day. A federal grand jury indictment was unsealed charging 30 alleged West Coast Crips gang members and associates with distributing large amounts of cocaine base to customers in an open-air crack market on Imperial Ave, about a mile and a half east of Petco Park. Now, they're going to make a big deal about Petco Park because I guess Petco is, the park is in a nice area. It's in an exclusive area, and you got a bunch of ninjas doing their thing near Petco Park. Now, if this was like a lower income area, they wouldn't be emphasizing this. But yeah, the Petco Park gonna come up again. Remember that. In a coordinated takedown, more than 350 members of the FBI Violent Crime Task Force gang group, plus federal, state, and local law enforcement officials executed 21 search warrants on homes and vehicles in San Diego and arrested 28 defendants. 2 are still outstanding. They're listed as fugitives. This investigation began in 2024 and focused on the West Coast Crips gang members suspected of drug trafficking and committing acts of violence in San Diego and near the Crips-controlled outdoor drug market located on 2900 Imperial Avenue. And they got a picture. They got a big picture of Imperial Avenue, obviously from a camera mounted above, of these dudes just doing hand-to-hand transactions, cars pulling up, jumping out, leaving. And that's part of the evidence here. It says, according to court documents, the market functioned as both a retail outlet and a wholesale hub, supplying users directly while also feeding a network of low-level dealers who spread across East Village, downtown, Logan Heights, Sherman Heights, and beyond to distribute crack cocaine. I didn't even know crack cocaine was still a thing.
Yeah, man. Yeah.
Is it still a thing worth getting federally indicted?
I didn't know.
I think this is the main drug in this indictment.
It's cracking up there in San Diego.
It definitely is, because listen to this. Investigators believe thousands of customers repeatedly purchased cocaine base at the Imperial Avenue crack market in 2025. Those customers would approach Crip members staffing the market and buy cocaine base with cash. Investigators estimated that about 20 pounds of cocaine with an estimated street value of $550,000 were sold at the Imperial Avenue crack market weekly.
Oh, they was getting some bread, man.
Weekly, bro.
Allegedly getting some bread.
Including seizures today. Including seizures, and throughout this investigation, authorities have confiscated more than 11 pounds of cocaine and $14,000 in cash currency, 2 handguns, a money counting device. According to a wiretap conversation between co-conspirators, defendants frequently sold out their inventory and would look to replenish their supply. Now, that's straight from the government's website, but I have a clip here of the local news in San Diego covering this exact story.
Dozens of alleged gang members were arrested this morning. Federal prosecutors say in a major takedown of an open-air crack market just a mile and a half east of Petco Park. NBC7's Shelby Bremer is outside the federal building downtown. Shelby, prosecutors just detailed this operation. What have you learned?
Yeah, hey, Monica. Well, 28 people were arrested, and police are still looking for 2 people that they call fugitives named in this grand jury indictment. Now, this was a collaboration of the FBI, state, and local law enforcement, and they say that this investigation began in 2024, and it focused on alleged members of the West Coast Crips.
San Diego is a paradise, but it is not a gangster's paradise.
The feds say the West Coast Crips ran an open-air drug market at 2900 Imperial Avenue, where investigators believe thousands of people repeatedly bought cocaine base in 2025, averaging 20 pounds each week, with an estimated street value of more than $500,000. Prosecutors say the market was also what they called a backdrop for violence, pointing to a drive-by shooting back in January that left 2 people injured. Authorities say they wiretapped conversations, used confidential sources, and trained a camera on the market every day for more than a year. And as part of the operation this morning, law enforcement says they confiscated 11 pounds of cocaine, $14,000 cash, and 2 handguns. The feds say at least 22 of the defendants have prior felony convictions and are now charged with conspiracy to distribute cocaine and cocaine base.
This was a bustling crack market operating with impunity and audacity, making millions of dollars a month just a mile or two from Petco Park, the gas lamp quarter, downtown businesses, luxury condos, restaurants, hotels, you name it. It was a one-stop shop for addiction, violence, and human suffering.
Now, one of those defendants did appear in federal court this afternoon, and I had a chance to speak to some of his family members who said that they had no idea what was happening until they got a call that he had been arrested this morning. Several other defendants are expected in court tomorrow.
I think we got the point, Munchie. Who do you think was the clientele for these guys that had a hood really close to the middle class and upper middle class parts of San Diego?
I think it's that clientele is more than likely lawyers.
Yeah.
You know,
people like this people that this prosecutor probably knows.
Mm-hmm.
And that's the sad part about it is when you have a demand in any business, you have a demand, somebody's going to meet that supply. Someone's going to come with the supply to meet the demand. And we're mad at the young, well, actually, we'll talk about this. They're not even young, but we're mad at the brothers who met that demand. But what about the hundreds, if not thousands, of people who engage in this activity, who use the product, who are addicted to the product? Who should we be more mad at?
It sounds like they mad because of where they doing it at.
Yeah,
that's what it seems like they more mad about.
Yeah, they want them to be go to Southeast San Diego with all that BS.
Right.
Don't be over here by Petco Park.
It said luxury apartments, Petco Park, restaurants. Yeah, they upset because of where they getting their money at.
But yeah, it's just unfortunate that these guys are at the bottom of the rung when it comes to the drug distribution game, because you know, they're the street corner sellers, and they're the least connected to the drug problem.
Right.
You know, they didn't make the drug. Maybe some of them. Well, cocaine is now fairly easily makeable, but in most instances, you need cocaine. Cocaine don't grow in America. Remember we talked about where can you grow cocaine?
Yep.
It's difficult. Nobody's doing it outside of South America.
Right.
You need a special type of dirt, fertile soil. So that cocaine is coming here into America and turning it into crack. These guys are meeting a demand, and now they're going to prison.
Yeah, it sounds like they it's like open and shut, because, you know, once they mount them cameras up on the top of light posts and all that, they got, you know what I mean?
Yeah, they definitely had, they installed, in 2024.
They watched them for a year, they said.
Yeah, they installed cameras on the block in 2024 just to watch them and everyone that was coming and going, which is pretty crazy because any police department can do this on any block. And I don't think we would know.
Right.
That there's a new camera on this block.
Damn, man. These indictments is being more frequent. We didn't cover over 20 probably this year.
Yeah, and I think the majority of them were towards Latinos, but we've been getting a few against black neighborhoods now.
Mm-hmm.
And
the brother Ricos is starting to roll in.
The brother Ricos. We just talked about two of them, Big U and the West Coast Crips. Now, let me tell you something which I found very interesting. I looked at the defendants in this case, and they listed all their ages. And just while I was scrolling through, I was like, wait up. These guys are not young. There was a 70-year-old in the indictment.
Sheesh.
There were 3 people in their 60s in this indictment.
They can't even take a deal with them ages. Cause what deal could you take that makes sense at that age?
Yeah, no deal.
Sheesh.
And there was 12 people in their 50s in this indictment, and there were 5 people in their 40s.
They ain't letting the little homies get no money, huh?
These guys was greedy, huh?
Yeah.
So look, let's see. Let me add this up. 12, 17, 20. 21 of these guys were 40 and over. And let's see, 7 people were in their 30s or under. I've never seen an age distribution like this in an indictment. It's usually a bunch of 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, maybe some 30s, maybe a couple 40s, but this is dominated by 40, 50, and 60-year-olds.
Let the 70-year-old go, man.
Oh man.
Let him go, man. He got like 5 more years, 10 more years on Earth, bro. Don't do him like that, man.
They don't care.
No, they don't.
They definitely don't care. Yeah, I put this in a spreadsheet, and I was shocked to see these ages. And James Wright, he's 76.
76?
Yeah. You want James Wright, free James Wright?
Let him go, man. He ain't gonna do it again.
Yeah.
He ain't gonna do it again.
Yeah.
Sheesh.
Yeah, I've never seen ages this high up in a street drug indictment, but I haven't heard of nobody getting money like this since the 80s and 90s. 500,000 a week.
San Diego real close to Mexico, man.
Yeah. And only 2 youngsters, to keep it real, a 19-year-old and a 25-year-old. That's it, 2 youngsters.
That's somebody's nephew.
Let's see here if anybody. Oh, Julio, check this out. Julio Rangel, and the 19-year-old is Julio Rangel Jr.
See?
He's the son of the 38-year-old. Ain't that funny? So the youngster's only on this indictment because his father's in the indictment.
Yeah, he probably low on the indictment.
And majority of these names are non-Latino. There's only like 2 or 3 Latino names on here. So not only was the brothers getting the money, they was like, nah, y'all over there ain't getting none of this money either.
Yeah, man. I want the 76-year-old, man. He give him the ankle monitor. Let him go, man.
So, yeah, if it wasn't for Julio Rangel Jr., the youngest defendant would be Elmer Salgado Pineda, 25. He's one of the few with a Latino name. He's 25 out of National City. Everyone else here is San Diego. National City is just next to San Diego. But I wonder, 25, is that a youngster to you? 25-year-old?
Yeah.
Yeah. So just 2 youngsters on this whole indictment. Never seen that before, bro. Never. I mean, usually you have the youngsters doing all the legwork outside.
And not like that, man. That's how many people on the indictment?
Out of the ones that are named here, that's 20. It looks like about 25, 26.
At least 14, 15 of them go flip and try to cooperate.
Oh, you think so?
Yeah, like 14, 15 of them.
Yeah.
They too old. They like, I ain't about to die here. But they got minimums when they get to the feds, like so minimum. Like them senior citizens they're about to cooperate, bro.
James Wright is the 28th guy on the indictment as the oldest one. And there's 2 more fugitives. So basically 30 guys.
Yeah, there's about to be a lot of telling going on. If it was more youngsters, then I think, you know what I'm saying?
Well, you know who's doing a lot of telling right now is your boy out in Las Vegas, who's fighting for his life because he's pushing 70. He's in his 60s for sure, and he's pushing 70. And his trial's about to start any day now. And he's still trying to get evidence dismissed. And it's not working out in his favor.
He don't got a pet attorney, huh?
Well, it says here he's got a defense attorney named Michael Sanft. I'm not sure if Michael Sanft is a public defender or not, but he's trying to suppress the recordings from Davis's 2008 proffer that he gave to Greg Kading. He's trying to suppress that. And he's also trying to get his 2019 book suppressed. And the judge already ruled on this before, but they're trying it from another angle. Because they know that he's buried. Once you play that and read over his book, what's the defense? But you know what his defense is right now?
What is entertaining?
It's all lies.
Oh, okay.
It's all lies. That's his defense. You're never gonna hear a guy prouder to admit he's a liar. It's all lies.
Yeah, man. We're gonna see how this play out. It's gonna be an interesting one. How long do you think this shot gonna last?
Oh, it says here it's gonna last 6 weeks. Let me play this interview I did with Greg Kading, because I specifically asked him about why would you drop the recording of the proffer, because that's pretty shady, you know. For a cop to do it, I'm like, wow, this cop is exposing Keefe D. So this is what Greg Kading had to say about that.
The question I do have about Keefe D confession is, why did it get leaked? Did you leak it? And that information being out there puts Keefe D in a very dangerous situation. Something that he didn't even know he was being recorded at all the entire time. So how did it become public, this confession?
So when we sat down with Keefe D, myself, the FBI, Keefe D's lawyer, we sat down under what's known as a proffer agreement, and he divulged all of the details about what took place in Las Vegas the night Tupac was shot. At that point in time, we're just going through the investigative, kind of investigative process until I retired, and I came to the realization that these crimes, the public is never going to know what we did in this investigation and the information that we attained. And so I took it upon myself to say, listen, and I went and met with Keefe D before I did it, by the way. He knew that I was releasing the information. I went to his house. We sat in my truck, and I said, here's the deal. You're never going to probably get prosecuted on this, but I'm going to expose what you did. Wow. And I said, I'm just letting you know ahead of time. I'm writing a book, and I'm going to tell the story. And listen, you got a huge break on the dope case that we built against you, which was 25 to life. You're walking away on a murder. So if the punishment for you is that the public knows the truth about what you did, well, then that's just the way it's going to be.
But it should have made him it shouldn't have hurt him. And that's not the part that's hurting Keefe D's situation. It's just the fact that people know that he sat down with the police and discussed his nephew. That's what's hurting him.
Yeah, well, I think it's two things that's going to hurt Keefe D for the rest of his life. One, that he got exposed as an informant, a snitch, in some way.
Not really.
However you want.
No.
Come on, man. When you're telling the police, this person killed that person.
But see, you got to look at it like this. My nephew is dead, and he took advantage of that because he was fighting 25 to life, right? He got caught with some drugs.
Yeah.
So if I can speak on this, my nephew and them, all these cats is gone. So if I can speak on that, he used that shit as a street ticket to get out of this situation.
Completely
and he
understand.
did that. But he didn't, what fucked him up is he didn't think that Greg was going to put it out there that you told on your nephew.
And that's my point.
Now here you got a man that made it be the 25 to life 2 times.
I thought it was a smart move on his part because he knew that no one was going to go to jail, no one's going to prison, no one's getting indicted, and I get to go home.
Exactly.
But still, I'm talking about the way the public will perceive him.
Right.
One, you told. And two, now we know for sure you killed my favorite rapper in the world.
Well, hate him for that. Hate me for that. But
when you and I speak one little negative thing about Pac, they go in on us.
They do.
Now imagine how they're feeling about Keefe D.
Exactly,
You know,
exactly.
so you kind of put him out there on those two things, which
I did,
which could actually get him killed if he's not careful.
Yeah, and I'm not sorry I did it. You know, he's who he is. I told him what I was going to do. His response was, "Oh, fuck it then. I'm a gangster. I'll handle that shit." That's exactly what he told me, and said, "Okay, well, that's your decision. That's your life. That's you. Go do you." I'm telling the world what the fuck happened because this story is more important than you. In fact, I think this story is more important than your life.
That's my 2020 interview with retired LAPD detective Greg Kading.
I got a couple takeaways from that, right? Where he went wrong at is after he had that sit down with the police and divulged that information, he should have went back to his community and told them what he did. Cause I mean, couldn't nobody get in trouble for it. But since you got exposed for sitting down with them people, now is bad. Then I don't think nothing wrong with telling on the day. I done said this before. People disagree. As long as nobody could go to jail behind it, all right. Number 3, I think me and you both agree, and we said in the past, the police don't respect snitches. Yeah. They don't. And then number 4, I respect that Greg Kading told him what he was gonna do before he did it. But, you know.
Well, I didn't play the entire clip of that. I later remembered, and it's in the interview, that, wait up, Terrence Brown was still alive when Keefe D gave you that proffer, wasn't he, Mr. Kading? Yeah, he was. He's the driver. They called him Bubble Up from Southside. He eventually got killed in 2015 at a weed dispensary or outside of a weed dispensary.
That's recent.
Yeah, that's pretty recent. But at the time of that proffer in 2008, he was still alive. So that could have got him in trouble.
So he is wrong.
Yeah, Munchie. I mean,
if it wasn't no surviving, no survivors that was in the car that night, then that's one thing. But since his name was T Brown, wasn't he?
Yeah, Terrence.
Yeah,
the driver.
Okay, yeah. I mean, you was dead wrong because somebody was still alive.
And if Terrence Brown didn't get murdered at that dispensary, he'd probably be sitting in the Clark County Jail right now with Keefe D. You know, and then you heard where Kading, he didn't believe that this guy would ever get charged. And most of us didn't believe he would ever get charged. We thought Clark County just said, F it, and this was 30 years ago. We're just going to leave it alone.
Okay, well, I'll take 2 of those back since Terrence was alive. It was one surviving passenger. So I'll take back, it wasn't cool to tell that to the police because you could have got somebody else in trouble. And
well, I think the way that Keefe D rationalized it was that he was fingering Orlando Anderson.
But he's the driver, though. He drove Orlando to do it, so you still putting him in jeopardy.
The driver is just a part of the conspiracy as anyone else in that car.
Right.
But, yeah, I believe that Terrence would be in jail with him right now if he was alive. I think the other guy in the back seat, he died. How did Dre die? I think he had an illness. Big Dre, that was in the back seat.
You think it's a possibility that Suge Knight get subpoenaed?
Well, if you read over the documents, they say they have a witness in the CDCR on the list, but it's right now it's redacted. They're not saying.
I got an idea who it may be. I don't know if I'll be wrong to say the person's name.
Hey,
but I'm gonna just say this: Spotter Loke speak of this dude a lot.
Well, in that video I just played, part of the B-roll was a photo of Orlando Anderson and a guy named Mr. Duro.
And Mr. Duro, gang name is what? Owl?
Is it Lil Owl?
Baby Owl?
Baby Owl. Yeah, Baby Owl.
That's what I'm saying. He's in the CDC.
Yeah.
Spider he speak highly of this dude, and I know he was close with Baby Lane because he was there when Baby Lane got unalived, right?
He was.
The shootout.
He was there, but that shootout was completely unrelated.
Unrelated, but I'm saying somebody in the CDC as a witness and their name is redacted, it ain't got to be Suge. It could possibly be him.
Yeah, but he doesn't have information. He's not a precipient witness to anything related to Tupac getting the Tupac Shakur homicide. Suge Knight is.
Is it hearsay if he say the people involved told him what happened?
Yeah, that's not that. And well, we
Is
just
that
heard,
considered hearsay also?
Yeah, that's considered hearsay. But if this was a federal case, they'll figure out a way to enter that as.
So that's hearsay if this person is on trial and I said that he told me what really happened and not repeat was exactly what he said. That's hearsay?
Yeah, that's hearsay.
Okay.
That person cannot come and testify, but the police can use that information to investigate further. But that wouldn't be a witness in a trial. As soon as you said, well, such and such told me, objection, Your Honor, hearsay, you can't, not in state court. So I don't know. The first person that comes to mind is Suge Knight being that person, but who knows? And then he's got more of an incentive. He's 65, 66 years old, right? His health is not the best. He's serving a 28-year sentence of which there is no reprieve of. There's nothing that's going to reduce that sentence for him in terms of appeals because he took a deal.
Mm-hmm.
He's only 10 years, or let's see, 2015. What are we in? He's only 11 years into that 28-year sentence, of which he's got to do 85%. I don't know if he's receiving milestones and getting credit, but it's not looking good for Suge in terms of that 28-year sentence he's serving.
Yeah, man. Yeah, those are the only two possibilities I could think of. But I guess it's more so looking like it could possibly be Suge.
And Michael DeRoe, he's LWOP'd as of now. I do think he's got action through the legal system to get that re-looked at, re-examined. But someone can say, I mean, what could he possibly say? I also think there's another person, another witness from Southside named Dirt Rock. He's already informed. He informed on Keefe D's drug case that caused him to have to do that proffer with Greg Kading.
I seen that video, and he was loud and proud with his cooperating.
Yeah,
he didn't care,
and he was wearing an S hat in the interview.
Wow, hey man, I gotta go run that back, man. That dude was like, I think he was talking to a young lady, right?
He was talking to He was talking to a young lady that I had her on your show before. I had her on Rich at Heart with you before.
Don't say SKG.
No. She was on the show through the phone call.
Okay.
She showed up in person.
Oh.
Yeah. And that's how I got that interview from her.
Oh.
Yeah.
Man, it's getting sick, man.
But that's how Keefe D got in trouble in the first place, through Dirt Rock.
Okay, all right. I'm gonna give a hypothetical, right? So, what if, let's say, Baby Al or Dirt Rock, when they reached back to Compton, they was the ones that did whatever with this car? Could like, would that be even worth being a witness to?
Absolutely. I see. Well, maybe Dirt Rock, because Dirt Rock and Keefe D were close. So it's got I just
remember they had to get it painted before they returned to rental or something. Remember?
I don't recall exactly. I have a segment about that rental car. I don't remember. That interview's from 2020, 6 years ago. But Suge Knight's release date is October of 3034.
They don't feel that far away.
No, that's not too bad. So it's from 2015. That's 19 years. So that'll be he's like, well, 19 years is pretty good on a 28-year sentence. So he's not doing 85% then.
You know, the percentages went down, man. It be shaky when I be asking about it. Some people say it did it. Some people say it didn't. So he doing 66%.
He is definitely doing
66.
Yeah, because he's going to end up doing 19 years. And he's not, I don't believe he's going up for parole. I think this is his release date. So that's, 8 more years?
Mm-hmm.
Hey, but when you're 61, I mean, it doesn't feel good that you're getting out of prison at 69 years old. 61 sounds a whole lot better, huh?
Well, it's a lot better than the 76-year-old from San Diego getting locked up at that age.
Yeah, because those minimums for that case, the minimum's probably gonna be 5 years.
Man, free that man. Man, he didn't mean it. He was going through some hard times, man.
Yeah. Oh, and let me play a quick clip of Keefe D, because he's in desperation mode right now, man. And he went to the local media. And I'm sure his lawyer will be very careful of what you say and don't say. But this is what Keefe D said in an interview the other day.
Good evening. Dwayne Keefe D. Davis insists in an interview with our 8 News Now investigators that he did not kill Tupac Shakur. His trial, though, is just a week away.
Speaking with our own Vanessa Murphy, Davis blaming the son of former head of security for death row records for the killing in an interview you will only see right here on 8.
If you did not have anything to do with Tupac Shakur's murder, who do you think did?
To me, I think they witnessed Reggie Wright Jr. All he do is lie, is tell stories. He even be on interviews threatening my son, you know what I'm saying? Threatening my family. It's wrong. Even Caden be on them interviews threatening my family. You know, it's wrong, man. It's wrong.
In that 400-page motion filed by the DA's office, one of the points that they are trying to make is that a lot of what you have said is true. So you're sort of your own witness, that you said you went to prison for selling drugs, all of these specifics, your role with the Crips. So they're saying you were accurate, so you might be accurate about the murder.
They're lying. This is a bunch of lies.
You know what else kept coming up in the court documents? Biggie's murder, and how at some point you were a suspect.
Yeah, they took my car and did forensics on it. And that car was never shot out of or nothing like that. And it's wrong because I was under the parking garage when that man got killed. When he got killed, they came running back in there and said, they just killed Biggie. And I was under the parking garage. That stuff happened. They just, to me, the Popos, the police did that stuff. Who expert shots like that, you know what I'm saying? Ain't no who competent like that or watch or in our area shoots like that, you know what I'm saying? You guys would be a marksman.
So you had nothing to do with Biggie's murder?
Nothing to do with nobody's murder.
And then a name that kept coming up, and it has come up, and I think I've asked you about this before, Sean Combs.
Yeah.
Diddy, Puffy, whatever. Do you think he had anything to do with the murder of Tupac Shakur?
No, ma'am. I don't think so at all.
What about Biggie's?
I don't think neither one. To me, it's the Toronto police out there in our area. Reggie Wright, all he did was lie all night. Atlanta Anderson took the boy, took his chain. Don't bring your guns. It's just, I get a lot of stuff from PIs, private investigators, and all the fingers and evidence point to Reggie Wright Jr. And he brought up my name from day one.
Davis is expected in court on Tuesday for a hearing to discuss some pretrial motions. His murder.
Hey man, that's a lot of talking though. He's ready to throw Reggie Wright under the bus.
I heard another part of this when she asked him did they come with any plea agreements. He said he not willing to take it. The average person lived to be about 74. He's 60 something, so it wouldn't make sense. And
and he's not in the best health either, so he might not even live to what the average. I think the average life expectancy is like 75.
You gotta think though. I mean, Biggie Smalls was a big dude. That's not. You don't gotta be like a super marksman like to hit him. You know what I mean? He not hard to miss.
Yeah, that was not an accurate statement. You had to be a marksman. All you had to do was pull up, be close to the car, which that car was, and just dump into right through the door.
With the size of him, and you just shoot on his side, that's not hard to do. So, and then he said he don't think that Puffy got anything to do with it, but I believe he tried to get a confession out of Von Zip at some point.
Oh yeah.
So cooperate with the police trying to get a confession out of Von Zip tells me that you felt that Von Zip received the money from Puffy. So she asked you, you think he had any involvement with the Tupac thing or the Biggie thing? That contradicts that. You know what I'm saying? If you don't feel that way, why you even cooperate with the police to even get wired up on Von Zip and bring up some old stuff?
Well, that's going to be hard to explain in court. And this interview with the lady said regarding the 400-page filing that the prosecution did, it basically, from what she read, they're going to go through his whole book and say, okay, here's chapter 1 is about when he joined the gang. Ladies and gentlemen of the jury, he really did join the gang. This part is about him going to juvenile hall and committing acts of violence as a minor. Ladies and gentlemen of the jury, we have all the evidence and the data when he went to juvenile hall and YA. They're going to go through all the things he wrote in the book that are facts.
But you could go again. It's been known and it's said over and over again he wasn't no violent dude. He just got money.
Yeah, but they're
You know
going
what I'm saying? So like,
but they're going to point out the facts in his book. Him going to prison. He went to prison.
But right now he's a self-admitted liar. So his lawyers be like, it lines up that he makes up stuff because look what these dudes said that grew up with him, played football with him. They was on the same team. Him and Suge was on the same team, and he might use to his advantage the wife thing with Reggie Wright. Didn't he say he had some dealings with him?
I don't recall that.
I think he might have been trolling with talking about Reggie Wright's wife. I think he might have been trolling, but it sounded like Mob James got a soft spot for Southside, being that his baby mama was from Southside and his daughter. It sounded like he got a soft spot. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. Well, what I was trying to say is that there's a lot of parts of his book that the prosecution can prove that is factual.
Did the sales go up since he been in jail?
I don't know.
It had to.
I don't know.
This is the promo he don't want though. Damn, man.
So it's going to be hard for him to say, oh, this whole chapter about the Tupac homicide, that's all lies. But the rest of the book is true, so.
Okay, well, what if he have his lawyer subpoena an author and when they say when it's based on a true story, how much of the story be fictional? Would that be a good move, you think?
I think that's a good move when it becomes a movie. A lot of the movie becomes fictional off of your true story book, but the book is supposed to be as accurate as possible. That's what the publisher is going to push. But he did, and he has a co-author named Yusef Ja. So I wonder if I believe Yusef Ja did all the writing. I think Keefe D probably sat there and he audio recorded everything to be in the book, and then Yusef Ja just wrote it out and to make it make sense. So he can say that my co-author wrote the majority of the book. Of course, they're going to say, well, didn't your co-author write this based on what you told him to write? He just not going to make stuff up.
I'm trying to think of some ways he could come with some angles, man, because, you know what I mean, trying to be optimistic for the brother, but, he dug a hole.
Well, I think that proffer, there's some good arguments there with that proffer, because Greg Kading, if you remember that clip, he most likely wasn't supposed to leak that audio. That's not common practice where a police officer, when they retire, they're going to leak an audio of a confession.
Actually, it is. They retire and then they tell it all. They go on to do interviews and write books.
Yeah, they do, but he actually dropped the literal
evidence
audio. Yeah,
that's evidence.
You could write a book and talk about it.
So is that against the law? Because that's like, you know what I mean? Evidence.
I'm sure Greg Kading did his research before he dropped it and made sure he wasn't going to get in trouble. But that's a cold move. And then you went up to him, like you said, you thought that was a good move. He went up to him to let him know, hey, bro, because he know he was compromising his safety. So, hey, I'm warning you ahead of time. About to drop I'm not only writing a book, I'm actually going to drop the evidence of it.
He told him I'm a gangster. I wonder, did he really say that? I ain't tripping. I'm a gangster. Do your thing.
Yeah. So, but there's so many things that you could attack that proffer. Like, why did Greg Kading drop it? Yes, he's writing a book. You can make Greg Kading look like the villain. He's just going for money. He's going for book sales. He's clout chasing. He's clout chased. Look, that's a good example, right? He clout chased off of Keefe D's crimes, alleged crimes, right? Because that book, Murder Rap, that book became one of the biggest books about the Tupac homicide. So, would you say he clout chased?
Or needed some money?
I mean, he's got a pension. He's doing well. But who can use more money, right?
Yeah, it's probably 60-40. I don't know.
So they could make Greg Caden the villain of dropping, like they could say, what LAPD officer would expose an informant? You're gonna make informants not want to come forward anymore, because all that's gonna happen is they're gonna get exposed by cops like Greg Caden.
Yeah, man. I would love to today interview Greg Caden. I would love to interview him.
Yeah, I've been thinking of doing a follow up with him because that was 6 years ago.
Yeah, I think you should follow up.
Yeah. Well,
and I also got some Wack 100 questions for him.
Oh yeah.
I feel he do a lot of taking up for him.
Well, yeah, definitely. I think that's just a general practice of law enforcement to not really put dudes out there like.
Well, he put this man out there.
I was gonna say the same thing, but you didn't care about Keefe D. Maybe because of the book. He's writing a book. Like if Greg Canning was writing a book about the Main Street Mafias and their indictment and Shaquille O'Neal and what role he played during the time he was on the Lakers, then maybe we would learn more about Wack 100. But he decided to write a book about the Tupac Shakur homicide.
Yeah, man. They be Reggie Wright too. Like he know the truth about a lot, man. And I'm talking about as far as Cash Jones, but that's another conversation for another day.
I don't believe Reggie Wright has anything to do with the Tupac Shakur homicide in Vegas back in '96. It is true that some of his security guards were not armed, but there's a lot of explanations for that when you're going into another city, another state, another jurisdiction. We're gonna keep the guns here. We can't take these guns inside of this building, this establishment, legally or properly. So that's not unusual. Some people think that was the setup. But the way Keefe D tells it, they was posted up at the 662 club, waiting, and he never showed up. Then they hit the strip, or they hit Flamingo, and just by coincidence, they see Tupac talking to a bunch of girls out the car at an intersection, and they just busted a U. It just so happened they saw him in traffic and did their thing. Now, of course, it's all lies according to Keefe D.
What year is this again? 96?
96.
I believe it was September 7th, 1996. I wonder how old was Keefe D in 96?
He was in his 30s.
In his 30s?
Yeah.
Okay.
He's he was in his 30s. He was a well-known dude too. Well-known hustler. And nowhere the guy that he is now. He's ready to throw Reggie Wright under the bus. Although there's not a lot of stuff connecting Reggie Wright to this homicide.
Yeah, they hate each other.
Yeah, they do.
They hate each other because it's vague in my mind, but he spoke on that man's wife, and I could imagine Reggie Wright. You know what I'm saying?
They've been having a back and forth for quite some time. All right, man. Well, maybe. And this trial is going to go about 4 weeks.
Okay.
Yeah. So in about a month or so, we'll get the results. But it's not looking good for Keefe D. I got to say that. You better have a nice team of lawyers. I don't know what his legal team looks like. I spoke to one of his lawyers once, and he's still trying to bail out. So nobody can come up with $75,000 for Keefe D.
What's the bail though? Like what's like
$750,000?
Nah, I'm saying what percentage?
You just need 10.
10% of 75,000?
No, 10% of 750,000. Remember when Cash Jones was trying to bail him out?
All that is clout.
And put up he said he had 100,000 to bail him out.
He want to attach his name to everything. He had no intentions of bailing that man out, man.
Yeah.
That dude just he got main character syndrome. And he got mental health issues, like for real.
Definitely. I've never seen a guy on this internet lie like him. And I was just talking to somebody about the mental instability that you got to have to be that comfortable with that level of fabrication is definitely a sickness.
At the age of 50, though.
As a 50-year-old.
As a 50-year-old, you on essentially Clubhouse is the party line. At 50, yelling, arguing on people, lying on people, doxing people, calling people jobs, getting them fired, posting their addresses, telling people's spouse what their other spouse did, all at 50.
It's an illness. He's got a sickness. And somebody needs to pray for him. But let the people know where they can tap in with Munchie B the Mayor.
MB_the Mayor. That's on Twitter and on Instagram. And then Morals Over Money TV. Like, hype, subscribe, man. Keep me in the algorithm, man. Keep me going.
And make sure if you're listening to this, you could check out the video clips on the StreetTV platform on YouTube. And if you prefer just to listen to it while you're at work, while you're driving, while you're in the gym, while you're on the treadmill, you could listen to this on all podcast platforms, especially Spotify, Apple, and iHeart. We out.